Hey YouTube. So basically, let me say this before we even go any farther. I know I have on the same shirt as the last video, with my first YouTube video, and the reason being is because I'm literally recording this video right after I recorded the first video, so that's why I have on this shirt. So I don't want you guys to be coming for me in the comments. Um, but yeah, I wanted to basically talk about my experience being when I found out I was pregnant, like my experience being pregnant for the first time and becoming a first time mom. Um, so when I found out I was pregnant, I remember I was sleeping like a lot. This is how I knew I was pregnant, because I remember I had like put some curtains up and then it wasn't dark enough in my house. So putting I ended up putting like some blankets over. I know it's ghetto, but I wanted to stop the light from coming in. So I ended up throwing like some heavy blankets over my window, and I didn't want nobody to come in. Like, I didn't want nobody bothering me. I just wanted to sleep, and I would wake up, I would eat, and then I would sleep, and I just didn't want to be bothered. So finally I kept doing that for about a month, and I'm like, something is not right. I'm just sleeping like crazy. Like, that's not normal to just sleep like that. So I remember my god sister came over, and then my best friend, and I was like telling them, I said, I don't know. I had been saying for like 2 or 3 days, I didn't really actually think I was going to be pregnant, because honestly, I was told I couldn't have kids. For about 10 years, I was told I couldn't have kids. So why would I be pregnant now? If the doctor told me I wasn't going to be able to have kids, then why would I be pregnant? Um, but yeah, I remember we were all standing in my house, because I had a studio apartment at the time. And I remember my god sister was on her way, and I'm like, somebody grab me a pregnancy test really quick from the corner store, the bodega, whatever, so I could take, a pregnancy test, because something's off. I was just sleeping way too much. And I remember we had like a little get together in my house, and I remember I was putting a lot, like I was putting mad food on the plate. I was like, I'm hungry and I'm about to tear this food up, and then after I eat this, I'm going to eat again. And it just was unusual. And I remember one of my friends saying, he was like, are you going to save some food for somebody else? And I looked at him like he crazy, like, is this my food or is it yours? Because last time I checked, I cooked this food. So I got really upset about that. And after that, I just kept sleeping a lot. So like, I got to be pregnant. Something is not right. So, finally, my god sister was coming over, and I was talking to my best friend, and I think I asked, if I'm not mistaken, I think I asked my best friend to bring me a pregnancy test. So he brought me the pregnancy test, and I went in the bathroom and I took it, and I was scared to look at it, and I'm like freaking out, and I'm like telling my sister, my god sister, I'm like, I'm gonna pee on the stick or whatever, but I need you to look at it, because I'm just too scared to look at it. So she grabbed the pregnancy stick, and she looked at it, and at first she was like, oh, it's only one line showing up. She was like, oh, nope, you're not pregnant. And a part of me got disappointed. I'm like, wow, I really thought I was pregnant. Like, and if I'm not pregnant, then I really can't have kids. And then she was like, oh, no, wait. And she's busting out laughing. She was like, wait, it's 2 lines. You are pregnant. And I'm like, no, sir. So it was such a shock that I was pregnant. But let me tell you guys, once I found out I was pregnant, I got extremely sick. I got so sick that it was not even funny. Sorry, I lost my scrunchie, and I'm going to tie my hair up. I heard this. But yeah, I got so sick. And I think the thought of being pregnant it really just freaked me out. Like, I think the thought of being pregnant made me sick. So I would think about the thought of a baby growing in my stomach, and I would literally get sick and run to the bathroom and throw up. But through it all, I really didn't. Well, I'm not gonna say I had a terrible pregnancy. I mean, I didn't have the best pregnancy. You think of you having your first baby, and you think, I want to, this is gonna be a great experience. It's gonna be a beautiful feeling. But honestly, my son's father, not to put my business out there like that, I know there's plenty of girls that's gone through this, and my son's father was not there the way I thought he was gonna be there. So I actually went through my pregnancy without him being around. Thank God I had a support system to be there for me, because if not, I would have been lost. I wouldn't have knew what to do, because honestly, when you become a mom or just a parent and it's your first time, it could be really scary. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared through my whole pregnancy. Through my whole pregnancy, I was scared. I was depressed. I was stressed out. I was angry because my son's father wasn't there. Um, and honestly speaking, I didn't think that he wasn't going to not be there because we've always talked about having kids. Um, so I just thought he wanted the baby. So being that he got me pregnant on purpose, that he was trying to get me pregnant, I would have thought that he would have stuck it out with me even if we weren't going to be together, because we weren't in the best of space. I would have thought at least he would have supported me or helped me or whatever. But he didn't. So, it was really tough being pregnant, and especially towards the end, when I got ready to go into labor, I really wanted my son's father to like step up and be there. But, because we went to the same church and he was dating another female at the time. So it was hard going to church and seeing him with another woman. And I'm not going to lie, I went to church one day, and honestly speaking, I knew I didn't want to be with him. Like I had already nipped it in the bud. I was like, I'm not going to be with him. Like, he's not acting right. And I had already made up in my mind, like, I want you around for the baby, but we're not going to be in a relationship. It's not going to happen. So I went to church, and first of all, he was at my house, and we were good. We weren't arguing or anything like that. I was like, if you want to stay tonight, that's fine, but you have to make a pallet on the floor. You can't sleep in my bed. Because I didn't think I wanted to be with him, not under the conditions that we are. Like, he didn't have his stuff together. Like, he was still running back and forth, to his ex. And I'm just like, I'm not having it. I know we've all been there, so don't judge me. I know there's plenty of girls that's been in my situation or gone through something similar to what I went through being pregnant. But, yeah. So, I'm sorry, my nose is running for some reason. But, it's not that my nose is running, so my nose gets sweaty right here for some reason. When it's hot, it's kind of hot in the bathroom. So my nose gets a little sweaty sometimes. I know that's weird and disgusting, but it does. But anyhow, this is the crazy part is we were in church, and I came to church. We were just fine. We were just cool. Like, he was just at my house, and then I didn't hear from him no more for like a week. And I'm wondering, what did I do? Or he just kind of left me in a place of confusion. I didn't know what had happened. Why wasn't he coming around? Why wasn't he contacting me, checking on me? Why there was no communication at all, being that we had a baby coming? Because honestly, I didn't make that baby by myself, so I wanted him to, support me. And I had spoke to the pastor and my mom, and they don't believe in abortion. So, getting an abortion was obviously a wrap. I wasn't going to get an abortion anyways, because I was told I couldn't have kids, so I wanted my baby. But I went to church, and surprisingly, because before he kept telling me, oh, him and the girl wasn't together anymore. They wasn't together anymore. And, I didn't know what to believe. But we went to church, and they were sitting together as a couple. He was ignoring me. Like, he completely ignored me. And I was just like, why is he ignoring me? Like, what did I do? And he kept walking past me, but it was almost like he was trying to get my attention. And I'm like, he's trying to get my attention. He keep walking past me like this. I'm going to give him my attention. And it ain't going to be the attention he's looking for. It feels like my shirt is on backwards. But anywho, so yeah, I remember standing next to my mom, and I remember I seen like a smoke screen or something. I'm like, he keeps walking back and forth past me like everything's cool. And then I stopped him, and I was like, you know what? I said, you got some nerve coming in this church with this girl. And mind you, the girl that he was dating was one of my mom's really good friends. Was supposed to be one of her friends. But that's another story in itself. And so I was already upset that he, because if it would have been any other girl, I would have been fine. But because she was so close to our family, it really bothered me that he was dating her. And was just trying to figure out, what did I do to her for her to do that to me? Because we had just broken up, and they were already in a relationship. And it was like, it wasn't even a week later. So it just didn't make any sense to me that they were together. So, back to what I was saying. So he kept walking back and forth past me. And I'm like, if he walked past me one more time, I told my mother, if he walked past me one more time, I'm going to punch him right in his face. Right? So he walked past me again. Mind you, he walked past me like 4 times before I actually said something to him. Because he was trying, like I said, he was trying to get my attention. But it just wasn't the attention that he was looking for. So when he walked past me again, I said, you got some nerves coming up in this church with this girl. After you was just at my house and we was just cool. because of course, when you have a baby with somebody, you start to grow feelings for that person. So, he walked past me again, and I remember nobody was really looking, and the girl that he was dating was, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was standing where the pulpit was, and I was like standing next to the chairs. Mind you, my pastor's been knowing me since I was a little girl, maybe about 6. So he's been knowing me for a long time. But when this happened, when he walked past me the last time, I remember I punched him real hard. No, I didn't punch him, I smacked him. But when I tell you I smacked him, I made sure I had a lot of strength in my hand when I smacked him, because I was carrying his baby, so I didn't want to like him to hurt me or whatever. But I smacked him so hard that the whole church turned around and they looked. And they was like, oh my God, I can't believe she just smacked him. But honestly, everybody in the church, they knew like what my son's father was doing. They knew it was wrong. So I know I just said his name. So I do apologize about that, but I'll try to clip that out. But they knew what he was doing was wrong. So, my pastor was mad because I did it in his church, but at the end of the day, he didn't call the cops on me. So I didn't go to jail, but he did make me get up and apologize in front of the whole church, which was totally fine. Enough was enough, and I was fed up, and that happened. But through my whole pregnancy, I would just think like he will eventually come back around, and he just never came back around. He basically got me pregnant, and that was that. And he moved on with his life, and that was that. So when it started getting closer time to me towards like the beginning, I was maybe into like my 5th month. And I had already found out that I was having a boy, and I basically was just like, it's getting closer time. And of course I was getting scared, but of course I wanted the best for my child. So I had signed back up for school, and I went to school, and, I was going to school, and I would come home and do my homework, and I basically was just preparing for the baby to come. I would do my shopping, and my mom was planning my baby shower. So my mom is the reason why I learned how to be a good mom, because when I found out I was pregnant, I was devastated. I was scared. I just didn't know how I was going to get through it. It was really, really a hard, anybody who has had a baby and has gone through something similar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's when you get pregnant by the wrong guy, it's the worst thing ever. You start to feel, it's not the worst thing ever, because my son is a total blessing, and he's a year old. He'll be 2 in a few months. He'll be 2 in a few months, but he is the best thing that ever happened to me, and he truly makes me a better person. So, through it all, it's like I went through all of that, but God blessed me with a better man, and this man treats my son like he's his own. And don't let me dare say that that's his stepchild, because he don't like when I say that. He actually wants to adopt my son and make him his, not his biological son, but, he wants his name to be on his birth certificate and all that stuff. So he's really a good guy. So I really was blessed. So, we're getting another guy who actually loves me. And actually, I've known my husband. Well, we're not officially married, but I do refer to him as my husband, because that's my soul. That I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with him. But I've been knowing him since we were 14. My husband now. I've been knowing him since we were 14, and we lost contact for some years, but we recently connected, and it's been nothing short of amazing. I really do love him, so I'm blessed in that sense. But going back on what I was talking about, when it got close, after I had my baby shower, I had maybe a month and some change left in my pregnancy, and I was ready to get that baby out of me. I was just sick of being pregnant. I was miserable. I had to quit school because my feet were starting to get swollen. It was just too hard to get up. Like, the way I had to sleep with a pillow in between my legs, and I had to sleep on my side, and I'm used to sleeping on my stomach. I'm not used to sleeping on my side or anything like that. So it was really uncomfortable towards the end. But towards the end of the pregnancy, I really wanted, I was waiting around to see if my son's father would step up, but he just didn't. And my mom had already just prepared me for the worst. And she said, you're going to be all right. She said, I did it 7 times. I had a baby 7 times. I had a kid 7 times. And, look at me, and I've been raising all these kids by myself. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, I kind of just I drew from my mom's strength, and that's how I was able to get through it. And, when it got close time for me to go on, actually, when I went into labor, when it got towards the end, I was counting down the days so much that it was starting to drag my pregnancy. And I remember I was going to my mom's room every night, talking to her, crying, like, "Mom, I just want this baby to come out, and I'm so tired of being pregnant." Like, it was just so frustrating, like, to be pregnant for that long. Like, it really is it drags life, like, being pregnant for 9 months. And I was just ready to meet my son. So when I went into labor, my water didn't actually break. They actually broke my water, because I was in labor for 2 whole days I was in labor. And I thought the first day I went, and I thought, no, the first time was maybe 3 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks before I went into labor. I'm sorry, because it just brings me back to when when it was almost time to meet my son, and it was a beautiful feeling to actually give birth to my son. But also my son's father not being around, because when I went into labor, I really wanted him to be there. And I got almost, in a sense, got depressed when I went to the hospital, because I wanted him to be there. And I did text him. And let him know that I was going into labor, and he got the text, but he just didn't show up. And to add insult to injury, he made me get a DNA test, which embarrassed me in front of the whole courtroom, because he knew that was his baby. I had not been with nobody else but him. And it hurt my feelings, because it embarrassed me, because there were people in the courtroom that I had grew up with. So for him to ask me for a DNA test in front of all those people, it really did something to me. And that's the reason why today I can't be bothered with him. Like, I just can't. But I'm sorry, it sounds like somebody's in my house. But anywho, my son's here now, and he's the best thing that ever happened to me. Does it get challenging being a mother? Yes, it does. Does it get tiring? Yes, it does. Because my son is at that age now where he, even a couple months ago, he doesn't sleep through the night, or either he doesn't sleep through the night, or he gives me a hard time about going to sleep. And that could be draining. Just staying on top of everything, making sure his teeth is brushed, making sure he has a bath every night, making sure he has decent clothes, making sure his hair is braided, because I didn't cut his hair yet, because he's just too young to cut his hair. So making sure he just looks presentable, even if, sometimes your son comes first, all the time your child comes first, and you don't really have, for yourself, you have to make time for yourself, because all your energy is given to your child, because that's just what being a parent is about. Sometimes by the time I get to my plate of food, it's cold, because I have to feed him first, or, I don't really get full the way I want to. And then by the time I go out to the plate, I don't want it, because I waited too long to eat. It's just so many different things, which I don't mind at all. Like, I love being a parent. God really looked out when he gave me that little boy, because he is the best thing that ever happened to me. But, yeah, I'm going to end this now, though. But you guys do me a favor and if you like this video, comment, subscribe, show your support, and also let me know below what you guys would like to see from me, whether it be questions, anything, Q&As, whatever. Just let me know, okay? Love you guys. Bye.